And we are live. This is UFC Austin Cerrone versus Medeiros. This is Rick.
What's up, guys? This is Justin, and we got a pretty good card, man. It's on Sunday. Most cards are on Saturday, but I like, your occasional Sunday cards. And before we get into this card, let's talk about, last week's card. What a good card, man. We watched it together, and Yoel Cash, man. Dude, the dude has power, and Rockhold has no chin. Literally, you got to fade that dude 4 times. Let's be honest. Rockhold has, what it takes to be a good fighter, but that chin, bro. I don't know what it is, like. I don't know, man, but it was a close fight, bro. It was 1-1 going in the third, and that left hook and the way you all just finished that fight. Dude, Rocco died in that ring, so he cashed that max bet for me, and I believe he cashed a bet for you too.
Yeah, man, you all look. It was kind of scary, man. I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of scared going into the fight. He looked talking about his knee being hurt. He missed weight. A lot of red flags right there, but Luke Rockhold looked good in the first round. He was kicking, and then in the second round, I think Romero started to pick up the pace a little bit and land some strikes. I think that's what kind of got Luke like off his game, or I don't know what it is, but something about it. Luke just doesn't like to get hit anymore, and you saw it happen in the third round, man. Yoel is notorious for the third round finish. I don't know why we didn't bet the prop, but I was happy with the straight bet. Don't want to get greedy. It was great, man. And then I also bet on just pretty much a fade on Terudo. It was great, cashed. But then I also made a bet on the Leech that lost, which was kind of a bad bet. I think I kind of jumped on the bandwagon there, and that was my fault, And yeah, man, I guess he's a better striker. Jake's better than I thought. He looked better than he's ever looked. So it is what it is. Leech likes to get hit a lot. He got dropped a lot. He just didn't look good, and definitely off the Leech train, in my opinion. Unless he fights a jobber. But I'm going to think twice about betting him again.
Yeah, I bet the Leech too, and I don't know, man. The dude is, he's a decent fighter, but he gets hit way too much, and Jake Matthews looked really good, but he gassed too. I'm still gonna fade Jake Matthews, So let's see who he fights next. I don't want to say, who I hope he fights, but between me and you, we know who we want him to fight. But let's get into the card on Sunday. This is a good card in my opinion.
Elias?
Yeah, because Elias fights at 185 and Matthews fights at 170. Honestly, I kind of wish Matthews fights like Nico Price. I think that'd be a good fight. And I know Nico Price didn't look good last fight, but I think we'll get a dog money in Nico Price, and I think he'll beat him. So
that'd be a close fight, man.
Yeah, I got Nico. So let's go with the first fight of the night. We got
I think I'll get Nico too.
Oscar Pehota versus Tim, the South Jersey Strangler Williams. This is a good fight, dude. It's the first fight of the night. We got the newcomer Tim Williams. He's been around for a while. He's fought on top twice. He's 15-3. 2 of his losses against Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith's a good fighter. The dude just, he almost beat Thiago Santos, but Thiago Santos is just a different kind of animal. And Oscar Pehota, he made his debut. He looked pretty decent against Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo, dropped the 185. He basically just, picked him apart, took him down, dropped him. And I think Oscar Pehota is better on the feet. I think he can pick Tim apart. But Tim's a grinder, bro. Tim's super strong for the division. He's definitely, in my opinion, the better grappler. I think he has the better wrestling. I think he has the better cardio. He's the bigger guy for sure. And I think he's going to take him down and kind of grind out 3 rounds. So I got the upset. I got Tim Williams. I'm a big fan of him. And yeah, Pehota, he's undefeated. But, that first L is going to be coming soon. I think he's going to be coming right now. So both these dudes are black belts too. And don't sleep on Tim Williams Jiu-Jitsu, dude, because the dude, in my opinion, has a very good ground game. And like I mentioned, I think the way he's going to win this fight is the size. He's definitely bigger. He's definitely stronger too. So I think he can kind of, bully Oscar Pehota. And a lot of people are picking the favorite Oscar. I see why, because he's definitely better on the feet. But you cannot sleep on my boy Tim Williams. So I got Tim for the upset. What about you? But it's going to be a pass for betting.
Um, I got Oscar, man. I think he's better everywhere. But I didn't do much tape on this fight because I don't really care much about it. But I'm gonna pass on betting. But next fight, we got Alex Morano versus Josh Burkman. Josh Burkman's, I think, is one of the worst fighters in the UFC, at least in his division. Alex Morano, he had his moment against Nico Price, but I just think it was Nico is just too much for him, and Nico Price eventually ended up getting the finish. But Nico Price is a different breed. But I'm still gonna have to go with Alex Morano for the win. I think his jiu-jitsu is really good, and his striking's on point. So, Morano. What about you?
Yeah, I got Morano too. I'm not going to play him at the price though. Morano, I think, is a pretty decent fighter. You know, he lost to Nico Price, he lost to Keita Nakamura, two really good guys. Josh Burkman's on a 4-fight losing streak. He's definitely on his way out. I think Morano is, in my opinion, better everywhere. You know, he's a little chinny though, but I mean, Burkman's pretty shot. So I'll go with Alex Morano to get the upset, but it wouldn't surprise me if Burkman kind of squeaked this out because I don't think Morano's a jobber, but I mean, I don't know, man. He's a little chinny.
He can drop the ball.
He can. He's a little chinny, bro, and he gasses too. I mean, look at the Nico Price fight. He dropped Nico Price twice. He gassed hard and got knocked out. So Burkman still has power too, man. I mean, Burkman hurt Dong Young Kim on the feet, and I know Burkman's on his way out, but it wouldn't surprise me if Burkman got upset. I mean, he's back against the wall too. So yeah, I got Alex Morano, but I'm gonna be passing him a bet. So next fight, we got Sarah Cheesecake Morais versus Lucy Pudilova. This is a pretty close fight too, man. I mean, you know, you got Sarah, who's, you know, has a very good ground game. She tapped out Ashley Evans Smith last fight. She's not very good on the feet, but she's pretty big for the division. But I mean, her ground game's nasty, bro. Nasty jiu-jitsu. Lucy, you know, a lot of people are saying that she's like the young JJ and all this, and I mean, yeah, man, she's a pretty good striker. I thought she beat, you know, Lena Landsberg last fight, but it's a very close fight. I think if it hits the mat once, you know, Cheesecake could get a sub, but I think on the feet, you know, Lucy could eat her up. So I'm gonna have to go with Lucy though. I think, you know, she's gonna keep it on the feet and win a decision. What about you?
Yeah, I'm agree with you. I think Lucy's takedown defense is gonna be enough to keep the fight standing and you know, outstrike her for the decision. Next fight, we got Roberto Sanchez versus Joby Sanchez, and I got Sanchez, bro. And I don't know who's gonna fucking win. To be honest, I don't know either of these guys, so I'm gonna completely pass. What about you?
We gotta make a pick, bro, for like, you know, the podcast.
I'll go with Joby Sanchez.
Yeah, man, I got Joby too. I don't think Roberto's that good. The dude dropped the ball last fight. He was an undefeated fighter, but I feel like he's not good on the feet. I mean, right when I don't know, man. Right when the fight went, you know, right when who was the fight? He fought Morales. I think he took him down, then he got him. He got right back up, and he just didn't. It showed like he did not want anything on the feet. I mean, he's a little chinny, and I don't think he's that good of a fighter on the feet. He does have a good ground game, but I mean, Joby Sanchez is known for his ground game. You know, he's been knocked out before, but I think he cleaned that up, and he's on a pretty impressive winning streak. He's beaten some pretty decent guys recently too. He trains at Jackson, so yeah, I think Joby's better everywhere. I think he just needs to, you know, watch out for that ground game in the first round. But yeah, I got Joby. So next fight, we got Brian Diet Sprite Camozzi versus Jeffrey Neal. I like Neal in this fight a lot. You know, I wanted to bet him. He opened at -165, and I didn't hit it then. And now it's like -210, so I'm gonna pass. But yeah, man, Neal, I think is gonna get a finish in this fight. Ryan Camozzi, in my opinion, is a jobber. He's terrible. He's brought out the lose. The dude's been finished in both his UFC fights. You know, Randy Brown finished him to the body, and then Chadwick Freeze finished him to the body. I mean, he's weak to the body. He's chinny. I don't think he's, you know, has much of a ground game. His technique on the feet's pretty decent, but I mean, no power. I don't think he wants. He's a quitter. Jeff Neal's good, man. He hasn't, you know, he's making his debut. He had a very good knockout on the Contender. He had a very good fight with someone we'll be talking about later in the card, Kevin Holland. And that guy's a beast, bro. He's going to be making his debut soon, and we'll be talking about him, like I just mentioned, later in the card. But yeah, so yeah, man, I think Neal's going to go out there and get a first round finish. I think has more power. I think he wants it more, and I think he's just faster than Camozzi, bro. I mean, I think Camozzi's pretty slow out there, so I got Jeffrey Neal by a first round finish. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know what it is about what is this guy? The Camozzi's brother or something like that?
It's his little brother.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know what it is about these guys, but they're just not that good. He's coming off of 2 losses. He lost he got knocked out by Randy Brown. Got knocked out twice in a row, pretty much. Pretty chinny, you know. It just doesn't seem like he can hang in the UFC. In my opinion, he's not UFC material. He just probably got lucky because of his brother, and his brother is on his way out as well. Jeffrey Neal, I think he has a lot of potential. He has, you know, minus 210 is kind of pretty good, but like you said, it's not worth playing now. I kind of want to see how he does in his first UFC fight. I think Camozzi's a good person to put him up against. But yeah, I got Jeffrey Neal too. I think he's going to do easy work of him. Next fight, we got Carlos Diego Ferreira versus Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon, I think he's moving up lightweight from the 145 division. Carlos Diego Ferreira is coming back after like a 2-year layoff. He had a lot of hype going into the Benny fight, and Benny kind of, you know, won the decision there, kind of nullified him. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good all-around fighter. He's got a good striking, good grappling, you know. I think he's probably a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He beat OAM. To me, that's a big deal. OAM is no joke. I think he's pretty good. And Jared Gordon, I think he just hasn't faced the you know, the good people that he has. Who's a good person that he's beat? You know, Michel Quinones, Akron Diaz. Those guys are like, I don't know. It's a big difference when you go up to 155 and face those monsters. So I'm gonna have to go with the upset here, Carlos Diego Ferreira. Right now he's at what is he?
He's plus 220.
What's he at right now? Plus 220. I don't know what it is. People keep betting Jared Gordon. You know, he does have good wrestling, but I don't think it's going to be good enough here. Or does he have good wrestling? Or is he a good striker? Whatever. I need to watch more tape on him, but I'm going to have to go with Ferreira.
So, yeah, man, I got 3 units on the underdog here. You know, Carlos Diego Ferreira. I actually hit it at plus 200. Now it's plus 220, but whatever. I'll hit it then. I'll hit it there. And, yeah, man, you know, I mean, Jared Gordon's a pretty decent fighter. The dude, you know, he has 1 loss. He's undefeated in the UFC. But, I mean, he's beaten 2 featherweights in Quinones, who is the worst fighter I've ever seen in the UFC. We'll be talking about him later when we talk about Sage. And he beat Akron Diaz, who, I mean, is a featherweight. I mean, the dude is not that good. I mean, the dude gasses every fight. And Jared Gordon looked like shit in that 3rd round. He looked terrible in that 3rd round. And this is the first time he's fought a true lightweight. I mean, he does not belong at lightweight at all. I mean, Ferreira is going to be way bigger than him. And Gordon's style is all about pressuring you and all this. I mean, the dude's going to be getting hit like crazy. And he gets hit every fight, by the way. And when you're fighting these big dudes at lightweight like Carlos Diego Ferreira, I mean, you're going to feel it. I mean, the dude throws bombs. You saw the Ramsey fight. See the OIM fight. I mean, the dude has nasty counters, and he's a 3rd-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, this kid on the ground is a beast. And Gordon, you know, likes to take you down every fight. I think he's going to get himself tapped out if he takes it to the ground. I think on the feet, he's going to get hurt. I think Carlos is better everywhere in the fight, in my opinion. My only worry, which, you know, a lot of people have worried about, is the layoff. But, I mean, have you seen him on Instagram? He looks in very good shape. So, you know, I'm not that worried about it. I mean, if I was worried about it, I'd be passing him this fight. But in my opinion, I think Diego Ferreira is better everywhere. I mean, you saw what he did in his last fight against OAM. OAM is a very good fighter, and the dude went out there and, you know, made him look like nothing. So, and then before that, he had a very close fight, like you mentioned, versus Benny. I mean, yeah, Dustin Poirier, you know, knocked him out, but Poirier's a top dude, and he shouldn't have brawled with him either. That's that's one reason why he lost. And then he knocked out Ramsey. I mean, tapped out Cole Smith in like a minute. So I feel like on the mat, it's going to be all Carlos Tejeda, and I think on the feet, he's the bigger guy. I think he has more power. I think he has better striking. And in my opinion, I think he needs to drop to 145 in Jared Gordon. The dude has no business at 155. Okay, he fought Hackern Diaz in his debut. Hackern Diaz made his debut lightweight. That dude's a featherweight. He's fought always fights a featherweight. So the size advantage is going to be huge here, and I think Diego, like I mentioned, is better everywhere. So I got Carlos Diego Ferreira by a second round submission. And when you go back and watch the tape, you're going to see Gordon gets hit, bro, every fight. I mean, he gets hit a lot. That's his style. He pressures you and he gets hit. He's fighting a big dude now at a division he shouldn't be in. It's going to be all she wrote for Jared Gordon. So
I just placed a 2-unit bet right now.
Let's do it, baby. Team Bro Picks. So next fight, we got Sage Northcutt versus Thibaut Gouti. I'm gonna be, flat out and say, I'm picking Sage Northcutt, but I'm not confident at all. I do think that Thibaut's live. Northcutt looked, very good his last fight. He looked more improved, but who did he fight? He fought a dude that I actually faded, Sage Northcutt last fight with this guy, Quinones. And he's terrible, bro. I mean, I don't know if like we were talking about today, I don't know if Quinones just threw the fight, or throwing. I mean, I don't know what happened, bro. But I mean, did Sage look good, like you mentioned, or did he just look bad, Quinones? So, in my opinion, I think Quinones just looked very bad, and he made Sage look very good. When Sage is fighting these bums, he's gonna look good. But I mean, you can say Thibaut Gouti is the bum all you want. He's definitely a huge step up from the Quinones. I mean, Thibaut Gauti's a huge step up from, that one dude that Sage fought a couple fights ago, Enrique, whatever his name is. But yeah, man, I think Sage Northcutt has the advantage if he takes it down. But Thibaut's wrestling, is pretty decent. I mean, he fought 3 rounds in OAM, and I think he hurt OAM in that fight too. The dude has power. He went 3 rounds with Tamer. I'm not saying he's good. He's definitely a jobber, but I mean, he can definitely beat a guy like Sage. The longer the fight goes, you have to give the advantage to Thibaut. I mean, Sage's cardio is, a huge question mark. Yeah, he's looked better since he's been Team Alpha Male, but he's fought a huge trash can in Quinones. So I'm going to have to go with Sage. I think he's going to get it done by a close decision, but I won't be surprised if Thibaut Gouti gets to finish. And he's live, bro. I mean, for all you guys out there that want to take a shot on Thibaut, I don't blame you, honestly. I mean, he's definitely live. So don't listen to people out there say he has no chance, because he definitely has a chance. What about you?
Well, you know who I got. I'm going to go with the Thibaut Gouti. I watched the tape. I actually watched the tape on these motherfuckers, and I don't think dude, I don't know why Sage is has so much hype. He did beat Michel Quinones. He got subbed by Mickey Gall. I think the UFC is giving him this gimme fights, and Quinones didn't do anything against fucking Sage, bro. He didn't do shit. Sage just able to do what he want, and I think if you make it tough for him, then he's gonna quit, man. And I think Thibaut Gouti is a big step up in competition. I mean, to the competition that he's beat, at least. I mean, think about it. The people that beat him, Barberena and Mickey Gall. And Gall is how many fights has Gall had in his career? 3 or something like that. When he beat him, I don't know. I think Mickey Gall was what? I don't know his record when he fought fucking Sage, but it was 3-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
And now you got and now he beat Michel Quinones, who was a fucking 145er going up or something. I don't know. He was going up in weight. And he was scared of Sage. I don't think Gouti's going to be scared of Sage. He knocked out Holbrook. I think he looked good in that fight. Holbrook's whatever, but he was able to defend the takedowns. He got back up when he did get taken down, and he was able to get the knockout. I mean, he did get subbed by OAM, knocked out by Lepre, but I don't know if Sage's going to do that here. I think if Gouti makes it tough for him, he's going to quit. And Gouti's definitely live, so I'm going to go with him. And I'm thinking about betting him too. But I haven't made a play on him.
All right, man. Call the next one.
All right, next fight. We got Steven Peterson versus Brandon Davis. Not really sure who I got on. I didn't really do much tape on this one. I got the favorite, Davis. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't really look into this fight that much. Davis just fought, on the Boston card. He had a very controversial fight. He trained with Jason Knight. I think Jason Knight's actually supposed to fight Peterson, but he pulled or something like that. But yeah, even though Davis just fought, I think he has advantage. Peterson is moving up. He's a natural bantamweight, so I feel like Davis is going to be the bigger dude. And Davis is pretty good striking, so I got Davis by a second round finish. He has the better striking. So next fight, we have my second play of the night. We got Thiago Alves versus Curtis Millender. And yeah, man, I got 3 units on the underdog at plus 150. I like this kid a lot. I know, it's a big step up against Thiago Alves, but let's be honest, this is not the same Thiago Alves that fought for the belt a long time ago. I think he's like, 5-5 since the belt. He's super inconsistent. I mean, he looked, decent last fight against Patrick Cote, but let's be honest, Cote's a big punching bag. I mean, the dude retired in that fight. He knew he was going to retire, win or lose. And before that, Thiago Alves drops the lightweight and fights Jim Miller. So, I mean, this is the guy we're dealing with, the guy that doesn't know what he wants to do, a guy that quit the day before he fought. He was supposed to fight Mike Perry. He hasn't fought in a year. And Wonder's fought like 4 times since then. He's on a 5-fight winning streak. And like we talked about today, yeah, Alves has fought the better competition, but does that mean he's going to win? I don't think so. I mean, I think Wonder has some serious stand-up. His head kicks are for real. You see his last 2 fights are, head kick finishes. And, the fight that I actually like the most is when he fought Kevin Holland 3 fights ago. We talked about Kevin Holland about 10 minutes ago. This kid's serious, bro. I mean, this dude's huge for the division. He actually knocked out Jeff Neal in the 3rd round. And you watch this fight with Millender. It was a back-and-forth fight. He actually dropped Millender in the 2nd round. And Millender just, looked like a beast in that fight. I mean, dropped him as well, picked him apart. His nasty head kicks, good cardio, big for the division. And in my opinion, I mean, how's Alves going to win this fight? Is he going to take him down and tap him out? I don't think so. And on the feet, I mean, Millender has a 10-inch reach advantage. I mean, that's crazy, bro, in my opinion. I think he's going to, stay outside, use his head kicks. I mean, he doesn't have to be worried about the takedown because Alves does not go for the takedown at all, in my opinion. It's 2 wins by sub. He's a brawler. He's not going to go for the takedown. And I think Millender's going to pick him apart with that jab. And I think Alves is on his way out. I mean, that's a fact. And I think Millender's going to pick up a finish. So I got Curtis Millender by a head kick finish in the 2nd round. And watch out for this kid because this kid's going to be going places. What about you?
I don't know, man. I kind of at first I was kind of looking to fade Thiago Alves, and then I started watching this guy Melender's tape, but I wasn't that impressed. He does have those head kick knockouts, but I mean that was in the LFA. He was able to get taken down pretty easily by that guy. Thiago Alves has been known to mix it up. He might be able to take him down. He might if he's getting lit up. But I mean, like I was telling you, when this guy, what's his name, Millender, he's kind of he's big, dude. He's got big reach, but he's kind of fucking stationary. He doesn't really move that much. He kind of just stands there and just like strikes and kicks you. And I think he's able to get away with that in like the regional scene. But I don't know, his movement's not really there. He fights kind of flat-footed. He just stands there and, he does have those nice counter kicks. That kick pretty nice, did punched on one side, kicked to the other side, so let's see how that reach does. But I think I'm going to have to go with Thiago Alves just because he's a savvy vet in there. I think he is going to, I think he's going to show him what it's like to be in the UFC. and I think his experience is going to come in clutch right here. If he is getting outstruck, I think he's going to be able to mix it up good enough to get the takedown.
All right, man. Call
so
the next
no
one.
play for me, man. I was down to I was looking to fade Thiago Alves, but maybe next time. Next fight we got James the Texecutioner Vick versus Francisco Trinaldo. James Vick is just coming off of a fucking sick ass fight against sick ass knockout win against Marco Polo Reyes, and we've seen Marco Polo Reyes how good he is. Wait, my bad. He just beat Duffy as well too, right? That's his most recent win, I think. He knocked him out. I think I bet Vick right there. He outboxed him as to what many people thought Duffy had the boxing advantage, but Vick actually outboxed him. I think it took a little while to pick up the pace, but once he found his range, he was able to fucking finish him off. That's the thing about Vick, man. He's just so fucking tall. I think it's a huge problem for these people in this division, man. He's probably like the tallest guy in the division. Even if you take this guy down, he's able to get back up pretty easy. Like the way he wraps his leg around like the other people's legs, it's fucking weird. It's kind of hard to describe it. When it's like an open guard kind of thing where he like wraps his legs like it's like you'd have to see it, but you can only do it with long ass fucking legs, and he's able to use that somehow to get back up pretty good on his feet. And once this fool finds his range, man, you're in trouble because he's fucking tall, and he just knows how to box very well. So he uses his reach against you, and he'll keep you at bay, and he'll land hard shots, and you won't be able to land because he's so fucking tall. So Francisco Trinaldo, he's an aging Brazilian. He's kind of old school. What more is there to say about him? He got a decision win against Miller, got it choked out by Kevin Lee. He had his moments against Kevin Lee, but I think Kevin Lee eventually got the head kick and choked him out. But I think Trinaldo's on his way out, if you ask me. He's just kind of an old school Brazilian, kind of basic. So I'm gonna have to go with Vick. What about you?
Yeah, I got Vick too. He's one of my most confident picks. I actually wanted to bet him, but not the line of where it is. I wish it would have opened like a minus 150-ish, minus 160. But yeah, minus 220, I'm good. I'm definitely not going to be playing parlays. But like you mentioned, he's one of the biggest dudes in the division, not the biggest guy. Very good boxing, a very good get-up game, and his jiu-jitsu is very good too. He has a lot of good wins by sub. Good chin too. And a lot of people are saying that Trinaldo's going to knock him out because, the Neal, is a southpaw, Trinaldo's southpaw. Benny is a way better fighter than Trinaldo. I don't care what you say, Benny, gasses and, he went to a draw with Dunham. Benil's a very good fighter, and Trinaldo's not on that level. Trinaldo's a pretty good fighter too. He's definitely not a jobber. The dude's right outside the top 15. He's actually ranked 15th. But yeah, he's not on the level that James Vick is. I think Vick beats him on the feet. I think if Trinaldo tries to take it to the mat, Vick is going to get right back up or tap him out. So I got Vick wherever the fight goes, actually. And I think he's going to finish Trinaldo. So Vick in the distance is a pretty good play. And for DraftKings, I'll be having Vick in all my lineups. So next fight, we got my last play of the night. We got Derek Lewis versus Marcin Tybura. And I got 3 units on Tybura at minus 150. And I'm going to be a little harsh on Derek Lewis. Before the Mark Hunt fight, I know I bet him versus Travis Brown. I mean, if you can't beat Travis Brown, like, really, you don't even belong in the UFC. And he got hurt at the body bad. I mean, that was a sweat. And, he beat Travis Brown. But like I mentioned, I mean, Travis Brown is what? He's like a 5-fight losing streak. I mean, the dude has no chin anymore. He's done. And then he goes out there against Mark Hunt. He's eating fried chicken before the fight. Like, I feel like he quit before the fight even started. And then, he quit versus Mark Hunt for sure in that 4th round. He looked like he didn't even want to be there. Then he retires. Then he comes back. He fights for Doom. And then he quits and pulls out like the day of. Like, who does that? Like 2 hours before? And then, he's supposed to fight, I think that was it. But then So now he's fighting Tybura. He hasn't fought in a year. I just don't think he wants it anymore, really. I mean, the dude has not the best cardio. I mean, he's good on the feet. I mean, he's decent on the feet. I guess he has power, but that's about it. Doesn't really throw volume. And yeah, if he gets, on top, yeah, he could get, TKO. But I think Tybura is better everywhere. I think, he has very good striking. Good. And I like his style, man. He picks you apart. Very good kicks. And one weapon I think is going to be big for him is his kicks. I think he's going to hurt Derek Lewis in the body. Derek Lewis is super weak to that body, and Tybura has very good kicks. Tybura has the reach advantage. He has the better chin. He has the better cardio. A lot of people are saying this, staying away because of Arlovski fight, but I mean, he won the Arlovski fight. I mean, yeah, it was a little sweaty. Arlovski, took him down, but he got right back up. But yeah, he won the fight, 29-28. And look at the Verdum fight. I mean, 5-round fight. I mean, he had his moments in that fight. He didn't quit in that fight. I mean, Verdum didn't even finish him. He had his moments in that 5th round. He might have won 1 or 2 rounds in that fight. And I just think he's going to pick him apart. I just don't think Derek Lewis wants him more. He's, it's all about the power and, the KO punch. That's it for Derek Lewis. He's a one-hitter or a quitter. That's it. So I got Tybura. I think he's better everywhere, like I already mentioned. He's going to pick him apart, and I actually think he's going to finish Derek Lewis. And I think give Derek Lewis the walking papers. So I got Marcin Tybura by a 2nd round finish.
Yeah, I got Tybura as well. Like you said, I think Tybura is better everywhere. I think he's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. He's got very technical striking, good knockout win against a big fucking heavyweight. I can't think of his name.
Who? Who fought? Tybura?
Yeah. Enrique or something
fight?
Like that?
Yeah,
no, it was a couple of fights, okay. Cool, like he it was like in the clinch, and then he got the knockout.
Timmy Johnson.
He knocked out Timmy Johnson?
Oh, no, shoot, what's his name?
He's like that big fat Brazilian. You know what I'm talking about?
That's Enrique. That's Luis Enrique.
Yeah, Luis Enrique knocked him out.
Yeah, he also knocked out Peso with the head kick.
Yeah. See, he's got fucking sick shit. So, and he went the distance with Verdum. Verdum's one of the best heavyweights. So I think Tybura is more technical everywhere. He's got the more technical striking, the more technical grappling. The only thing is that, Beast is the more powerful guy. I think he's got the more power in his hands too. He's got that KO power. So is Tybura, but not as much as Big Black Beast. The thing I'm worried about is if Big Black Beast hits his double leg, because if he does get on top and land some heavy shots, then Tybura's going to be in trouble, man. Tybura's really got to defend that double leg. As long as he keeps the fight standing and doesn't let Big Black Beast get on top of him, I think he's going to make him quit inside the octagon. Black Beast is a bully kind of fighter. And I think if he doesn't have his way and it gets tough in there, he's going to quit. He showed a little bit of heart against Travis Brown, but I just think come on, it was Travis Brown. You can't quit against that guy. Even he almost did against him. I mean, come on. This fool got hit. This fool got hurt by a poke to the body. It was like a body poke kick. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like it wasn't like a sick ass like Edson Barboza type kick. You know what I mean? It was a Travis Brown lazy poke to the stomach. I think he's weak to the gut, and if Tybura, hits the body and keeps it standing, I think it's an easy win for him. So I'm gonna go with Tybura, and I also made a 2.9 unit bet on him at minus 145, I think, to get to win 2 units.
One more thing, if Verdum can't take you down, then what makes you think Derek Lewis is going to take you down? I mean, Verdum went for a couple of takedowns, couldn't get him down.
Well, Verdum's not a wrestler.
Yeah, but I mean, is Derek Lewis a wrestler? Not really.
He has a good blast double. He has a good double leg. I'll give him that.
I don't think he can get it to the mat.
You don't think
honestly.
he does?
I think if he gets it to the mat, it's because he hurt him on the feet. But I mean, Tybura is a solid chin, dude. So. And Tybura is so technical out there, man. He's really finds his range. I think he's going to fight very long and fight smart. That's what he is, man, a point fighter.
But, Arlovski got him down. That's the thing. If Arlovski can get him down.
Yeah, but he got
That's
right
what
back
worries
up,
me.
and he gassed himself out from that first round. He should have finished Arlovski.
That
He blew his.
he did gas himself out. I think that's also something, he gassed himself out a little bit. But
Look
I
at that
mean,
third. Look at that third round.
still,
He took Arlovski down, just laid on him the whole round. That was smart right there. He's definitely a smart fighter, dude.
yeah, it was smart.
He definitely
But
has a
it
solid chin.
still
And
worries me that Arlovski got him down. That's all.
he got right back up though. He got right back up.
Right, but could you get right back up with Big Black Beast? I don't know,
I
man.
think he can sweep. He has good jiu-jitsu, Tybura, bro. One thing
Big
we didn't
Black
mention.
Beast will get sloppy. Yeah, Big Black Beast will get sloppy, and the Tybura might fucking use some jits.
One thing we didn't mention is that Tybura trains at Jackson's now full time, so that's definitely an advantage for sure. I mean, that's the best camp out there. So.
Yep.
So, all right, man. Call the main event.
All right, we got the main event. It's Cowboy Cerrone versus Yancy Medeiros, and I mean, Cowboy Cerrone, he's just coming. Cowboy Cerrone has got his life changed. You know, he fucking got knocked out by Masvidal. Then he lost to Robbie Lawler, and then he got knocked out by Darren Till. I know you keep telling me that dude Yancy Medeiros isn't Darren Till, but Yancy Medeiros has some fucking. I don't know. I think Donald. It's hard for him to take a punch these days, you know. So Yancy did just come off a war with Alex Cowboy Oliveira, but if you ask me, Alex Cowboy has been in great form recently. The Cowboy that beat the Cowboy that was going into the fight would probably give the Cowboy a lot harder time now. Yancy Medeiros is looking great at 170, bro. He has power. I think the power carried through, unlike Dos Anjos. Like, he's actually finishing people. I mean, the way he finished Cowboy was very impressive. That shit was a war. I know you say it was a short turnaround, but so was Darren Till's fight. And, Donald actually got slept in that fight. Donald doesn't like to spar anymore. He doesn't like to get hit anymore. So Yancy Medeiros is going to go in there and bang, Cowboy does have some nasty kicks. That's the only, and some good wrestling. He's able to mix up his striking and his wrestling very well. I do think Yancy's going to be able to use his guillotines, though, to keep the fight standing up, threaten to, he's going to make Donald think twice about going in for that double leg he has. So if he gets the guillotine, I'll be fucking shocked. But I do think it's good enough to, cause a threat and get back up. So I think Yancy's is good enough to keep it standing. He did defend takedowns against Cowboy, and he ended up fucking actually taking Cowboy down, if I remember correctly. And Cowboy's a big, tough dude, man. So not Cowboy got the finish, and Yancy got the finish, man. I think Yancy's gonna make it a brawl at best. I mean, at worst, and if not, he's gonna absolutely smoke him. It's not the same Cowboy anymore, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Cowboy just showing up for a paycheck these days, man. It's a short turnaround for him as well, and he's like on his 4th fight losing streak. It's a main event. There's a lot of pressure on him, and Cowboy doesn't respond well to pressure. He always loses against me. He always loses the main events. He's maybe won two of them. So, and every time he goes for the belt, he loses too. So, I don't know, man. I just don't think he's good with pressure. I do think Yancy has a heavier hands and a better chin. It's going to be a brawl with 5 rounds. I think Yancy's about to get the finish. So I'm going to go with Yancy with the TKO.
Are you betting him?
No. No. Haven't bet him yet, though.
Yeah, man. I'm going to go the other way. I got Cerrone, but, he is live, Yancy, for sure. I'm not going to deny that. He definitely win this fight. In my opinion, it's a 50-50 fight. It's very close. I feel like if Cerrone can fight smart, he could win this fight. Have that, pick him apart. I mean, you gotta admit, bro, he has a very good blast double, so he could definitely take down Yancy and get a sub. He has the best wrestling Yancy's ever. I mean, Yancy hasn't fought anyone that has a wrestling at 170. So, the thing is, what Cowboy's gonna show up? I mean, is he gonna go out there and try to brawl with Yancy? If he does, he's gonna get knocked out. I do believe that Darren Till's a way better fighter than Yancy. But yeah, man, Yancy's been looking very good. I mean, he knocked out, he tapped out Sean Spencer. And he had a good fight there. Eric Silva is a very close fight. Eric Silva actually hurt him in that fight, but yeah, he knocked Eric Silva out. And the fight with Oliveira, I mean, it's a crazy fight, bro, but he took a lot of damage in that fight too, and that was in December. I know Cowboy's fight was in October, and he's on a 3-fight losing streak. He got knocked out against Masvidal twice. A very close fight with Lawler, which he could have won. And I think if he fights, like how he fought Lawler, he could definitely win this fight. It's a very good jab, very good kicks. I believe him and Yancy both get hurt to the body a lot. So a lot of people are saying Cowboy gets hurt to the body, which he does, but Yancy gets hurt to the body too, dude. So I can see, going either way on the feet. I do think Yancy has a better chin. He definitely has more heart. But I just think if Cowboy shows up, he's going to win. And this is Cowboy's, fight against the wall, bro. I mean, back against the wall. If he loses this fight, bro, he's probably going to get retire or get cut. And I feel like, we didn't see the best Cowboy against Darren Till. He looks super flat out there. And I know we were talking about it that, yeah, he looks in better shape now. But, is he going to show up? Because we don't know. I'm not confident. I'm not going to be betting Cowboys through. I'll be telling you that. But, a little biased. I'm a big fan of him, even though I fade him. I actually bet Darren Till last fight. But, yeah, man, I'm just not sold on Yancy yet. If Yancy beats Cowboy, then I'll be sold. But I just really think that, Yancy's style, man, he gets hurt every fight, kind of like Leach. And, I think Yancy's going to get KO'd soon. And I don't know if it's going to be now or next, but I do think Cowboy's going to get a win in this fight. I think he can get a KO or a sub, but I do think Yancy's live, and I think Yancy's a very good play. So if Yancy goes out there and wins, I'm going to be pissed because I've been back and forth in this fight. I was thinking about betting Yancy at one point. Now I'm picking Cerrone, but it's a very close fight. So, yeah, I got Cerrone, but I hope you cash if you bet Yancy. So, my 3 plays a night. I got 2 dogs. I have plus 153 units on Mellender. I have 3 units on Ferreira at plus 200. And I have 3 units on Tybura. So, I have those 3 plays. I don't know if I'm going to make another play. I might bet the main event not going the distance, and I might bet Tim Williams. So I haven't decided yet. What about you?
Yeah, so I have 2 plays so far. I feel like there's a lot of opportunities in this card, right? A lot of betting opportunities.
A lot.
I have 2 units on Carlos Ferreira at plus 220. I have 2.9 units on Tybura at minus 145.
All right, guys.
2 plays.
All right, guys. Well, I hope everyone cashes their bets. We'll be back next week for UFC Orlando. We got Josh M versus Jeremy Stevens. And yeah, man, I hope everyone cashes, and see you guys next week. Later, guys.
Peace.